takes too long. And you've just shown me at the bill signing for other victories, to enshrine marriage equality into the law, to make Juneteenth the first new federal holiday since the establishment of Dr. King's holiday. The idea, if we can hold a second here, the idea that we're supposed to remain silent on the abuses of the past, as if they didn't occur, that's not being woke, that's being honest. That's talking about history. Well, folks, but we have a lot of unfinished work to do, though. A lot of unfinished work. We have to keep building on it and defend our progress, because this new Congress, look, I know I get criticized from some of you and some folks in our party, my party, but I'm ready to work with the new Republican House on any Republican or any Republican Congress to make progress for the people of America. But like many Americans, I was disappointed to see the very first bill that the House Republicans, and Nancy, you probably rolling over when you saw it, are bringing to the floor that would help the wealthy people and big corporations cheat on their taxes at the expense of ordinary middle-class taxpayers. You know, all these new IRS agents we have is because they fired a lot of them and a lot of retiring. And guess what? Who needs serious agents to know what they're doing and not doing? The billionaires, the millionaires. And according to nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, this one bill alone will add $114 billion to the deficit. This is their first bill. And they campaigned on inflation. They didn't say if elected their plan was to make inflation worse. Plus, House Republicans introduced another bill on the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, blocking action that would help lower gasoline prices and help consumers. They're preparing to vote on a third bill. They want a national sales tax. Now, let me say this again. I know if I said that, it sounds like, what's Biden making up here? They want to raise tax in the middle class by taxing thousands of everyday items, from groceries, gasoline, clothing, cutting taxes for the wealthiest, because they want to supplant the money lost from taxes on the millionaires and billionaires with a sales tax on virtually everything in the country. What in God's name is that all about, other than what is obvious? They want working class folks to be paying another 10, 20% in their taxes, depending on where they live and how they're spending the money, and they're going to reduce taxes for the super wealthy. Now, if we didn't see it, I think we're making this stuff up. If I told you in 2023 a party was going to run on a national sales tax, well, that's how they're starting their new term. Cutting taxes for billionaires. And by the way, the number of billionaires went up during the recession. Up. They didn't go down, they went up. Raising taxes on working families, making inflation worse. Let me be clear. If any of these bills happen to reach my desk, I will veto them. Any of them. What I was saying during this last election cycle, this off-year election, this next thing, everybody said, they got to be making this up, Biden. Well, they're going to continue to cut Social Security or Medicare, which Americans have been paying into with every single paycheck they've earned since they first got their first job when they were 16 years old. But if Republicans want to work together on real, that's what they want. They're going to argue that the thing is that for them to be sustained, you're going to have to change the way in which it works. Instead of putting more money in to guarantee Social Security, they're going to kind of cut Social Security, cut Medicare. Look, if they want to work together in real solutions to lower inflation, create jobs, and build an economy, works for everybody, I'm ready. One more thing. I don't want to hear a word from the other side about my student debt relief plan. Let me tell you why I say that. It's going to help tens of millions of folks Folks on Pell Grants were hit financially because of the pandemic. 70% of black college students receive Pell Grants. For many black students, the saving will be significant in my debt relief plan, including wiping out their student debt completely. That's a real game changer. And by the way, it will increase economic growth, not diminish it. But the other side is dead set against it. These are the same folks who didn't have any problem at all during the pandemic to vote for and make sure they get this so-called pandemic relief loans. We all supported it. But guess what? A lot of these folks in the Congress, on the Republican side, were beneficiaries of these debt relief loans to the tunes of tens of millions of dollars. Not individual. I think the highest individual one was $1,200,000 or something. I didn't hear a word. I did not hear a word from them about they shouldn't be getting that relief. We didn't limit how much. We said if you had a loss and it was legitimate in business, then you get to wipe it away. And they're complaining about some kid being able to take away $20,000 in student debt that keeps him and his wife or his husband or her husband from being able to buy a home or start a business or just get going? Or these same folks are going after us. They're the ones who voted for the tax